What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to tackle what is, for a lot of people, the most stressful part of learning to drive a stick shift, that dreaded stop and go traffic. But hey, don't worry, by the end of this, you're going to have a really clear system to make it all feel smooth, predictable, and totally under your control. So first things first, if this whole situation just completely stresses you out, you are so not alone, I promise. It's a universal challenge from pretty much every single beginner because it demands this constant, really precise control at super low speeds. It can feel like a dozen things are happening all at once, but trust me, it can be simplified a lot. So that's $1 million question, isn't it? How do experienced drivers make it so, well, effortless? It's not magic, I can tell you that. It's really just a combination of a few key techniques and a little shift in how you think about it, all of which we're going to break down right now. And if you're learning manual, I also put together a free manual driving cheat sheet that breaks all of this down step by step. It covers things like finding the bite point, when to shift, smooth starts, and downshifting basics, all in a super simple format. You can grab it from the link in the comments down below so you have something to follow while you practice. Okay, our first and honestly most fundamental skill is what I like to call the clutch creep. This is the bedrock for everything else. Once you get this down, your stress level is going to drop pretty much immediately. Here's the crucial mindset shift that you need to make though. In heavy traffic, you can pretty much forget about the gas pedal for a minute, but your main job isn't driving in the way that you'll normally think about it. It's all about managing one very specific thing, your clutch's bite point. So just as a recap, what even is the bite point? Well, think of it as that magical little spot as you're letting out the clutch where you feel it to start, bite. This is the moment the engine's power starts connecting to the wheels and the car just wants to start moving. This is your entire world in slow traffic. Okay, let's walk through exactly how to do it. So you're going to press the clutch all the way in, pop it into first gear. Now here's the part, slowly, and I mean really slowly, lift your foot off the clutch just until you start to feel the car begin to move. The second you feel that little nudge, stop. Hold your foot right there. You're not lifting it all the way up. You're just holding it in that sweet spot. That's what gives you that slow and controlled creep. And how do you know when you found it? Well, you're going to feel it. And you'll feel a little change in the engine's rumble, maybe a light vibration through the pedal itself, and the car will just move forward nice and easy, all without you even touching the gas. See, it's pure clutch control. And this analogy is just perfect. Think about it like this. A beginner often treats the clutch like a light switch. It's either all the way on or all the way off. And that's what causes a lot of that jerky movement. Your goal is to treat it like a dimmer switch instead, finding all those little in-between spots to smoothly dial your speed up or down. So I'm in first gear, finding the bite point and slowly lifting off the clutch, and then just using that gas pedal to make those short movements to slowly creep forward. And then just continue to repeat that same motion. Alright, so you're getting comfortable with the creep. Awesome. Now it's time to learn how to make your life even easier by making a really smart gear choice. You know, a massive mistake a lot of new drivers make is that they just hang out in first gear for way too long. Look, first gear is only designed to do one thing: get you moving from a complete stop. That's it. It's super short, it's really sensitive, so if you try to drive around in it, especially at really low speeds, the car is just going to feel jumpy and it's going to feel really hard to control. First gear is twitchy and makes your left leg do all the work, but as soon as you get into second gear, everything gets so much smoother. It can handle a much wider range at lower speeds, and the best part, you can often take your foot off the clutch completely and just roll, giving your leg a much needed break. So once again, I'm using first gear to slowly creep forward. And once I get that momentum in first gear, I shift to second as soon as possible. Okay, so we've covered the physical skills. Now we're going to move into the mental game. This right here is what really separates a beginner from someone who looks like they've been doing it forever. Anticipating the flow of traffic ahead of time. It might feel totally chaotic, but stop and go traffic almost always moves in these predictable ways. The trick is to lift your eyes up and look at the traffic ahead of time. Look way down the road. Don't just stare at the bumper of your car or the car right in front of you. You're trying to spot the rhythm, the pattern of when things slow down and when they start to move again. So what this all does is change your entire driving cycle. The reactive beginner is stuck in that really stressful loop. It's gas, then brake, then stop, then repeat. It's exhausting. But the proactive driver, they see a slowdown coming from way off, and they switch to a whole new smoother cycle. They roll, they slow down just by coasting, they creep a little with the clutch, and they try to just keep the car moving, no matter how slowly. And the payoff for doing this is huge. You're not just making it less stressful for yourself, you're actually saving wear and tear on your car's clutch and brakes. By avoiding all these full stops, you're creating a ride that is dramatically smoother and calmer just for you and anyone else in your car. So over here, you see me recognize that there's a car way in front of me. So I downshift, and as I'm coming up to the car in front of me, I shift into neutral to coast. And now that I'm in a stationary position, I can use that same motion as before to slowly creep forward. Okay, we covered the 3 big pieces of the puzzle. Now let's put it all together into one simple system that you can use every single time that you hit traffic. So here it is. Here's your new game plan. Number 1, use the bite point to creep from a stop. Number 2, as soon as you get a little bit of momentum, let's say maybe around 10 kilometers an hour, shift up to second to smooth everything out. And number 3, always, and I mean always, be looking ahead. Anticipating the flow of traffic ahead of time so that you can keep the car rolling and avoid stopping in the first place. And that's the whole system. Now, of course, knowing the system is one thing, but really mastering it, well, that's another. Like anything with a manual car, it all comes down to practice and repetition. It's all about building that muscle memory so you don't even have to think about it and just getting a real feel for how your car likes to behave. And that's really the whole point of this. When you use this system, you totally change your relationship with traffic. You're no longer just a passenger nervously reacting to whatever the car in front of you does. Nope, you're the one in control. You're smoothly managing your space, your momentum, and your car. You got this. All right, that's all we have for today, everybody. Thanks for watching. And if you haven't done it already, give the video a like, subscribe, and comment what video you'd like me to cover in future videos. We'll see you in the next one.